hopefully if you're watching this, you should be logged on to ukhh.com. This show is called Straight to the Point, Part 4. And Part 4 is with none other than Mr. Rodney P. Some people call him like the godfather of UK hip-hop. Some people refer to him as just the pinnacle, the article, the person that you have to relate to if you really want to understand about the scene in the UK. Now, I know you're probably going to say that's not strictly true, but you must be able to understand why people kind of give you those kind of tags.
Yeah, just because I'm the only one that's still here from back then. That's why, right? You know, that's why. To be honest.
Alright, look. Let's just for the purposes of this interview, let's just go back and just talk about the history of Rodney P. Because obviously you've been in the game for an awfully long time.
Been a minute, yeah.
From a very young guy, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure when you look at the scene today, you can relate to a lot of the youngers that are out there doing their thing. Because you were one of those guys at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was 16 when we put out the first record. So yeah, it's been a journey. Because I'm a lot older than 16 now. It's been many moons, you feel me? So yeah, I mean, I could understand like the youthful energy, you know, of something like the grime scene in London. Why that would be attractive to the youths nowadays. You know, I get it. Definitely, I get it. But I'm a hip hop kid, you know how we do. So you know, we was trained a little different.
All right, a little bit of history about the London Posse itself.
Alright.
Because we just need to get that straight. Because you know, this is kind of like a miniature history lesson for anybody who doesn't know about this. Alright.
Alright, cool. Class is in session. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start off with the original members of the London Posse. It's important that people know this stuff.
Yeah. The original members of the London Posse was me, Bionic, Sipo, and DJ Business, and 2 dancers as well actually. Willa Mays and Will Rock. Yeah, yeah.
R.I.P. to Mr. Sipo.
R.I.P. to Sipo, no doubt. Sipo was really, I mean, we formed around Sipo as a group. It was, Sipo had been on tour with Big Old Dynamite in '85. And they had asked him to come back on tour again and bring some of your friends. And he brought us. We didn't have the name London Posse on the first tour, we got the name for the second tour. But it was me, Bionic, a couple of dancers, and yeah, we was out just doing our thing, you got me?
Alright, so in terms of the actual name itself, who's the creator of that?
The creator of the name? We got the name in New York.
Don't miss out any bits, Rodney.
I'm trying, you know, hey bro, it's been a while, you feel me? But we got the name in New York. What it was, in New York, we were the London Posse.
Yeah.
So
the out-of-towners.
The out-of-towners, yo, it was those guys, what guys? That London Posse, oh, they're over there. That was us. So when we came back from this New York trip that we did at the end of '86, we were going back on tour with Big Old Dynamite. For those who don't know, Big Old Dynamite was Mick Jones from the Clash's new band after he left the Clash. And they actually came and said, we need a name to put on the poster. On the first tour, on the poster it said, the Bionic MC, Roddy Rock, Sipo the Human Beatbox, and 2 dancers. That's what it said. so we needed a name for the tour poster.
Right.
And it was like, it was in a phone conversation, we need a name, we're going to print now, what are you lot called? London Posse. And that's kind of how it started.
And that's how the name was born.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, it's a name which is synonymous with the UK hip hop scene for many different reasons. For yourself, obviously, Bionic, Sipo. But I know that, you know, obviously some of you guys, well, obviously Sipo's not here, but you know, you and Bionic are doing different things. But I would like to think that because of what you guys have created over the years, that it's something that the pair of you would, you know, not destroy. Do you know what I'm saying? And on that note, I know that there's a new project coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So explain to me what's happening with that.
Well, firstly, I'd say, like, as for London Posse, that's not something, I mean, we won't destroy it. There was never a day when me and Bionic said, right, I fucking hate you. Like, I never want to see you again. It's over. Don't never talk to me again. That never happened.
Not like this kind of situation.
Yeah, it just kind of wore out. It just got hard to maintain. You get me? So, yeah, that's the reality of what happened to the group. And as for this new project, it's like the definitive London Posse album. It's the original Gangster Chronicle album with a few of the other bits and pieces that we put out along the way. Plus, I recently acquired the some original 2-inch tapes.
Oh really?
DATs, yeah.
Okay.
So that's where there's a few like demos of tunes that we were making before it all came to an end that are also included in the package as well.
Right,
so,
okay. So
and I mean, frankly for us, I mean, we haven't got that story of doom and gloom that a lot of the UK acts have. It was on a major label and they ripped us off and took all our money. We haven't got that story. When we left Island Mango, we were cool. We were cool. Those were our friends, and they were like, well, you know, the budget that you lot want, we ain't got. But you know what? Here's the shit back. So we've always owned the rights to that Gangster Chronicle album. That's why we're able to do things like this.
Yeah. So going back to the Mango days, you know, for me, like, there's certain records of the London Posse that I like, and obviously there's the obvious ones. But I'm a big fan of Jump Around.
Yeah, me too.
The remix version,
yeah,
just because.
Nomad Soul mix.
Yeah, that was a joy for me, you know, and that's like my first kind of encounter on a radio level with you guys when you came up to see.
I have to say big up to Rampage. Rampage used to be in the fridge.
That tune all the time on a Friday night.
Yeah, on Friday nights in the fridge in Brixton. Big up.
Yeah, man. And then tunes used to go down, and it's like, when you look back and you kind of think about a song like that, obviously is much faster paced than a lot of the records of today, but it had that kind of vibe that made you just want to dance and move and remember the lyrics and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that's something that you might return to? Because I see threads of people trying to recapture that energy. You personally?
Yeah, you know, I'm also making my album at the minute, you know. This is all kind of going hand in hand. I mean, in a lot of ways, the London Posse release is promo for my album to remind people that, you know, we're still there, we still do this thing. But I only got music coming as well. So, you know, I'm definitely reattaching myself to my original vibes. You know, if you know me, then you know that if you've been on this music journey with me, you know I've always kind of kept a thread through it. You get me? I bounce around a lot, but there's a thread that goes through it. And yeah, I'm definitely getting back on not even getting back, because I never left, but yeah, I'm definitely on the hip hop thing. I'm on the hip hop thing, definitely.
And is Skits going to be a part of that? Because obviously,
Skits,
you know, as a soloist, your two names kind of go together in many respects.
Yeah, I mean, me and Skits have been a partnership longer than London Posse was out. Like, that's the reality. But this is a Rodney P album. Like, this is my album. So Skits will do some production on there, but it's not a Rodney P and Skits project. It's a Rodney P project, definitely.
Okay. So in terms of production, where are you going? What are you trying to do with this project?
What, sound-wise?
Sound-wise, you know, vibe-wise.
I'm doing me, bro. I'm doing me. It's a hip-hop reggae album with various elements there. I've got a lot more live elements on there. Like, I've got a new thing out at the minute that's not actually out yet, but we did it for Record Store Day called Success, featuring Harley Blue. And we got like the Renegade brass band on there as well, live horns, there's live bass, live guitars, like it's live, and I like that sound. You get me? Like I do a lot of live stuff. I work with a lot of live bands, and I like the freedom that it gives you on stage as well. So I definitely want to bring some elements of that into what I'm doing. And if it's going to be live, then it's going to have to be funky live. So yeah, man, it's definitely something. I'm looking to make some party music. I'm not in a doom and gloom place, you know, but I'm not in a pissy staircase, broken elevator place. I'm alright. You feel me? So I'm looking to like let it reflect that. This ain't 1992. This ain't Gangster Chronicle. But you know, I stay consistent with the journey. So if you follow the journey, then you know that. You know what I mean? I'm doing me, bro.
Alright, cool. Going back to Gangster Chronicle, I mean, are we ever going to see the pair of you guys get back on stage with a Billy Business or
I would like to be able to just say yes, we're doing it. And,
come on, Barney.
Come on. It's it there. The possibility is there, but there are some things that are kind of in
because you know that there's you know this because you know you transcended a lot of different generations in hip hop, and you know that there's a certain generation of persons out there in the hip hop world that would love to see the Demon Boys. They'd love to see Hijack. They'd love to see
the show I always wanted to do. Like I want to do a London Posse Demon Boys Hijack show, and then along the way we can pick up all the other artists. We've got to bring Mello out. We've got to bring Pogo out. We've got to bring Cutmaster Swifty, who I just mentioned out. Those are my foundation peeps. We've got to bring them out. You get me? Plus a bag of more, man, like Hard Noise and Southern Noise and Gunshots and Overlord X. I linked Duke recently and like. What of them man are available? MCM, big up on my cave man every time. Like, you know, I would love to do that. I would love to do that, and I'm more than willing to set that in motion. But I need people to work with me. Understand? Can we get to the emotion stuff?
No, I think that'd be great, man.
I'm on that.
Because
I'm fully on that.
It's I don't know. You know, like when you're doing it back in these days, you don't realise what's going to happen. I always recall this conversation I had with Marley Marl. He's like, you know what? you're doing this hip hop thing, you don't realise some of the stuff you're doing is actually history.
Yeah.
You don't realise it when you're doing it. It's only after 10 years, 15 years after the time
hindsight is a
goes
wonderful
that,
thing, isn't
you
it?
know, you realise that, wow, actually we broke some ground. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, as London Posse, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that what we did was brand new things. And at the time we was aware of it. We didn't know that, like, 20 years later we could put the album out again and, like, there would be conversations like this about what we were doing then. We didn't envision that. But at the time we knew we was doing something different. We weren't coming with what everyone else was coming with. Like, that was always part of, we intended that. That was an accident.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it special. You know what I mean? Alright, so this new album, this Rodney P album is going to be coming after the release of Gangster Chronicle.
Yeah.
Has it got a title yet? Or
yeah, I've had the title for a long time. I've got a verse with a line that I took from Mary Poppins.
Okay.
And the line is, I sing songs to my son like fuck the police. The same time I'm trying to teach him enough's as good as a feast. Enough's as good as a feast is a line from Mary Poppins, and that's the title of my album, Enough's as good as a feast.
Okay.
Yeah. Work it out for yourself.
You heard that?
Yeah, that's what it's called. So look,
you can go tweet that now, you know the name of Rodney P's forthcoming album.
Indeed.
I'm not going to push you and say when's it coming out, because I know that is...
You know how it goes, bro.
It's a tricky game.
Plus, you know me, like, my hustle is complex, so I'm all over the place. Like, I get in the studio, and then I don't get in the studio. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, but it's coming. It's definitely, I mean, it's a big portion of it is done already still. I can play you some bits a little later still.
Alright.
Have a look at search.
So you lot got to stay tuned for that, man. The Rodney P album. The solo album. It's been a lot of years as well.
Many.
And why is that? I know I've had conversations, you're like, man, you know what? I need this and I need that, and do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's kind of felt
why
like...
does it take so long for me to put out a record?
Yeah, it's
I've
like...
only even put out one album. We put out one Gangster Chronicle album, there's one London Posse album, and one Rodney P album.
Right.
And then I just keep it moving, doing all kind of stuff.
Doing this, jumping on a couple of tracks here, doing a little jungle thing, a little funky house thing. Yeah. And it's cool though, because it just shows your versatility, but I'm just trying to work out, like, everybody I know, if they had a pick of who they'd love to work with out of the rappers from this country, your name's right at the top, and if it weren't at the top, it was somewhere near the top all these years. So it's like, I can't believe that it's that difficult.
Tell him to phone me, bro. Tell him to phone. It's not like, do you know what it is?
You got to realise you got status, so some people will not approach you because they're like, boy, it's really big, you got everything.
Firstly, I would say, approach me. It's all love. I'm an easy dude, like, you know me. I'm an easy to define. I'm a buy if you like.
There's no doubt.
Listen, rodney.rhythmkiller@gmail.com. That's my email. Holla, easy. But at the same time, don't come to me like, I ain't carrying no one for one. So like, come with something that I'm interested in doing. It's not just about forwarding you because you want Rodney P on the tune. Make it be something that I'm excited about. Don't have to be that your name branding can be got a big checkbook, but make it entertaining for me. You know what I mean? And plus, like, I never wanted to, like, I thought I was the best rapper in the world, but I never wanted to be the greatest rapper. I do hip hop because I love it. Like, so it was never about chasing chart positions or being the most famous dude, or like, it was never that. I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and thankfully, like, I'm in a position where I can, you know. So like, and plus, I mean, I haven't been in a major record label for 20 years, and I say that sincerely. I don't chase record deals. If I get a notion to do it something, if a man ain't there to do it with me, and I know this is the path I'm gonna take, then I'm just gonna do it myself. That's what it's going to be, but that might take me a bit longer to do. But I haven't chased a man for a budget pretty much since 1986. Even the deal we're doing with True Thoughts now is True Thoughts. If you don't know, is the record label that the Gangster Chronicle reissues coming out on, and my album's coming out on. And it was just, I've known those guys for years. I was doing some work with them through another project that I did called Sleeping Giants with me and Fallacy and Zed Bias, which is about different tempos and different syncopations. I don't even know if you heard that thing.
Yeah.
I know you heard that thing. But I was doing that, and it was just off the back of that I said, boom, this is the perfect home for me to do my thing. Plus, running the Rhythm Killer label for the last album and doing like the Clash album, that just let me know that I'm not really built to be a record label exec. That fucks with my creativity, you understand?
Well, it's time consuming.
It's too much for me, so I need to be real with myself and say that ain't the job for me, you know? I need to just go and be creative and make some tunes. And right now I'm in, like I said, I'm just making some tunes that I like, but I'm good, so.
I hear that. Well, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that Rodney P is
Plus,
an MC.
let me just add this, boy, you know? Okay. I'm kind of lazy. Like, I hustle a lot and I do a lot, But if I had my way, I would just never come out of my bed. So like, you know, sometimes I do the bare minimum. So it's like, so you know, there is all of that. Yeah, I'm self-sufficient and I do my thing, but also I'm a lazy dude and I missed a few opportunities. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So you know what I mean, youngins, it's all about work ethic. That's what gonna keep you ahead of the game. It's your work ethic. You could be the best rapper in the world, but if your mind ain't right and you ain't hustling hard, you ain't gonna eat. Okay, so if you don't want to do it, make sure you got a team of men that can help push you forward, because it ain't easy. Trust me.
Yeah, we know that. I was gonna say, you know, Rodney P is an MC. There's certain people that I love in the game, and it's usually because of their individuality.
Yeah,
it's because when you listen to them, you innately know that is blah. That is blah, and
anyone that sounds like that sounds like that.
It's a bit like, you know, it can still sound nice, but it's not them. You know what I mean? And you're one of those people. And to me, honestly, there's not that many people.
For the compliment.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel there's not that many people who've got that kind of signature. That, in my opinion, I think a lot of people have kind of borrowed bits and pieces from you.
Yeah, I hear me every now and then.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear me on the radio. I think that ain't me. I'm sure I didn't record that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to knock people for it, because I guess, like I said before, when you've got that kind of status level,
I think I'm highly blessed to be someone that has inspired a lot of other people. I think I'm highly blessed. And also think like there's a lot of people that have been inspired by me and Bionic and for what we was doing as London Posse that don't even know that that's where your style comes from. I think we laid a legacy. I mean, you have to remember that when we came out as London Posse, the norm was to rap in a fake American accent. So we were going against the grain, just the fact that we spoke in our own accents. That was an argument to be had. You understand? Now, you know, you talk to a 16-year-old, they can't get their head around the concept of not rapping in their own accent. Yeah. You know, but we had to really push for that. We had to push for that. So,
I kind of look at Dizzy Rascal enough times and I think he just reminds me of Bionic all the way.
And Tiny Temper as well. Yeah. There's Tiny Temper on a Chasing Status tune when he's just that's Bionic.
Yeah. It just reminds you of that.
And we have to remember that Bionic was my sensei as an MC. So like, you know what I mean? If you got something from me, then you definitely got something from him, because I got a lot from him. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's the reality.
Yeah, the truth has to be told, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Truth has to be told. So, anything else that you're doing that I need to know about, that we need to know about, that the website needs to know about?
Yeah, I'm doing this thing for SBTV at the minute as well. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, which is kind of cool. Yeah, because you're going around interviewing a lot of the.
Yeah, man.
Is it the 90s era kind of people?
Well, I'm taking it through. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. It's just showing some respect to the architects. You know, the MC game exists in a lot of different films and the fields. There's the rap and the trap and the grime and the road thing and the culture thing and like whatever. You know what I mean? So we're just like trying to show some light to the foundation MCs that was here doing this early. You know what I mean? So I went checked MC Duke. We got Black Twang. I got Funky DL. I also want to bring in like MC Det. I want to bring in Skibbity. I want to bring in, you know what I mean, Chester Peas. I want to bring in, I've done MCM already. I want to get Debbie from Cookie Crew. And it's an MC thing, so like there's spitting lyrics.
A story to be told.
But there's also just like, here's what we're doing. With the SB TV show, it's called Schooled By. It's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. It's 10 episodes, so we're doing it as like a series. Yeah. So each episode is a different MC. That's 9, so it's going to be 8. I'm doing the first one, of course. I had to contact please. Then we got 8 other MCs, and then the 10th show is like a mini documentary that we're putting together. We haven't actually even finished making it yet, so we're doing it now. And so every time we're out getting the guys to do their MC thing, also doing a little interview, how you got in the game, how you feel about the game now. That's, I mean, just trying to, like I said, show some love to the architects, no doubt. And a lot of them, man, that are still currently doing a lot. And it's also one of those situations of where are they now? You know, you're always interested to know where are those guys that you grew up listening to. You know what I mean? So now you're going to find out, and you'll be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised, but you know what I mean? Most man's doing all right.
They're doing all right. There's like a lineage, you know what I mean? I feel sometimes it gets broken along the way.
I think we broke it.
Where certain, you know, I mean, I was saying this the other day to, I can't remember who I was talking to, saying that, you know, the fact is that you go from being the guy who made the beats and the person in the group, and then you just leave. Yeah. Where you could have become the guy who's now teaching the next generation of people how to do what you did and learn from your mistakes. There was a lot of that. Do you know what I mean?
There was a lot of that. I do feel like in a lot of ways I am one of the only guys that's still here. Or not even the only guys that's still, there's a lot of guys who were here then, but the journey ain't been consistent. I just never left. Like, I just never left. Maybe that was stupid of me, but you know what? Now I'm reaping the reward, so it's all good. You know what I mean? But I do think there's a sense of, I mean, I argue with a lot of old school dudes about, yeah, the young guys don't show enough respect and they don't know about this and they don't know about that. But I feel that we, as a generation, never handed down the baton very well. You know what I mean? We didn't do a very good job of that. So I'm not looking at the young people and saying, you're supposed to know me. I'm saying if you don't know me, probably because I didn't do enough. You know what I mean? I'm going to take responsibility for me. And we didn't do enough. That's the reality. I mean, even if you're saying we weren't charting and we weren't on top of the pops, it was still our scene. It was our scene. And it got diluted and pulled apart. But there was always a core element. I know a man like you was always here. Me and you was bumping heads all the time. Because we were here and loving this thing, so we both had opinions. You get me? Like, yeah, that's what it is, bruv. So like, I ain't hating on the youth, them. Like, I'm saying this, give them their time, let them do their thing. But can we say, show some respect to the architects and say, this is where we come from. That's
why I think it's a good journey, do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot that can be learned. There's a lot of things that are achieved, you know. I remember having a conversation with one of the youngers, and he was like, no one ain't done this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had to start telling him about Derek being this and that, and he was like, what? Really?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, I had that conversation recently. They act like it's the first time there's been success in this thing.
What are you talking about, man? I talked about Cookie Crew and this and that, and he was a bit like, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know half these people, and like you said, you can't expect someone who's 18 to know everything about hip hop. But you know, but
the history just got rubbed out, and now they're rewriting.
There was a different struggle then. You know, you were struggling trying to just even get in the radio station or get
you was struggling trying to get a record made, because you had to save up your money just to get in the studio them days.
Wait to get your record pressed when there weren't no majors pressing up, and do you know what I mean?
It was a different day.
It's a different thing. So
like for instance, we were speaking earlier, and I mentioned I've recently found the 2-inch tapes and the DATs. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They don't even know the 2-inch tape. What's the hell is a 2-inch tape? What's a slicing board? You understand? What the hell is that? You know what I mean? And that's only really, I mean, in terms of the history of the planet, that's the other day. You get me? Like, but we come a long way since then. But for those who don't know, a 2-inch tape is like actually a 2-inch tape, like, you know what I mean? Like a TDK tape, but 2 inches thick. And that's what you have your 24 tracks on, you record on. If you wanted to do an edit, like you wanted to chop a piece of vocal out, you had to physically get that tape, get a razor, slice it, cut out the piece you don't want, and stick it back together. Like, you had to want to do this thing, and studio time weren't cheap, trust me. So, yeah, man, it's a new way around it. Yeah, man, it's a new day. Technology, man, anyone can do this thing, but you gotta love it still.
Definitely, man. My radio show preparation was usually, no joke, probably 8 hours. First I had to record all the songs onto the 1/4 inch, and then go through it and edit, like Rodney said, cut the tape and turn it around and stick it back for every single song, and then I had to record it back off the reel, back onto a DAT tape, or record it onto a CD or whatever. That was long. And that's why not everybody wanted to do a hip hop show. Absolutely. Because that took dedication.
A lot of editing. There's a lot of motherfuckers in hip hop. So.
You know what I mean? Which reminds me of a song that the London Posse got, or really Rodney's rapping on it, called "Shut the Bitch You Can't Sing."
Wow, yeah. That was produced by DJ Business.
Time to edit that song.
You know how happy we were to hear that tune on the radio, bro. So we give you credit. Definitely.
That took me, I don't know how long, but I think that was like a 2-hour job, man. By the time I finished that one song. But that's the whole thing, like you said, you had to want to play it to spend that much time. And so when you played it, you felt like, because you know that other cats ain't gonna take the time to do that, and so it made it special.
No, we were happy to hear that, bro. I do remember that.
We're about to play that tonight when you got the radio.
Well, alright. If you got the clean edit, you can play it. Alright, good.
I got the clean edit. Alright, listen, we're not gonna keep you much longer, but listen, this is Rodney P. If you don't know about this guy, please check him out. To me, he's definitely one of the paving slabs of the UK hip hop scene for many a year. Deserves his credit. Deserves for you to go check him out. Look up the London Posse album as well. I haven't really heard the new version and the remixes, etc. But once again, that has a landmark place in hip hop history. If you're a hip hopper, you must know about it. And if you don't, just school yourself. You guys have got Google. We didn't have Google back then to just go search. It's easy now. Everything's there. Go on YouTube, you can see it all. Do you know what I mean? Big up to Bionic, even Bull, I have to shout him out. I bumped into him in West London the other day. Like, what's happening? So you going on? What's happening? But you know, Once again, I know we've done a lot of road work for you guys, and
Absolutely.
you know, definitely had to have the hustle gone, man.
Absolutely.
Everywhere you went, balls there, like, boy, what's going on, man? Like, man, don't give my boys no love. What's happening? What's happening? And he had this very stern, intimidating kind of way of behaviour that made people have to pay attention to.
But he's a big cuddling dude, really. Yeah.
You gotta give him his straight
love.
love.
No doubt. Big up, boy. Absolutely. That's my family still. So yeah. Big up, boy. But I say, people, if you want to come check me on Twitter, Rodney_P. And also, I have another hustle. Check my LDNs. Come check me here, people. LDN caps, I got them running. I'm the dude. So yeah, if you see a man busting it, he got it from me. You heard? Straight.
Tell him about your album, man, and the new
and my album as well. Definitely look out for it. Enough's as good as a feast. It's gonna be. I ain't gonna do it for. I'm not even killing myself to do it for New Year. It's about the London Posse album. I got a new Sleeping Giants tune coming out with me, Fallacy and Zed Bias. Look out for the video for that. I got the Success video coming out. I got a tune called Revolution featuring Rebel Diaz from out of New York and Logic from out the People's Army and Big Frizz from out the People's Army as well. So look out for that. Yeah, things are going. Trust me, things are going.
That's it. Part 4. Rodney P. Look out for part 5. I'll bring you someone else that we can talk to so you can get to know them like you should know them. That's it.
That's it,
UKHH.com.
Yeah, big up the UKHH, standardly supporting man from early.